Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Frage.
This is Real Talk with George and Fraser. Fraser, man, look, we done had a weekend of everything. We got another banger show right now, man. Yo, Friday's show was off the chain. I mean,
Yes,
Carmen Miller came in as an artist and left as a straight historian and politician. It was
exactly.
it was unbelievable. If you guys missed that show, check it out. We have another great show today, a bang. We have the founder of Wolfpack Training, Mr. Colin Darian, who's here with us.
Yep.
So, man, look, but before we get to this interview, phrase, man, we had a weekend of fights. We had a football
Yes.
things, man. Look, I spent so much time on the couch, my behind hurt.
It's a weight, didn't you?
No, actually, I didn't. I've been trying to keep it down a little bit. I think I had maybe just one slice of pizza, and that was it. I didn't anything because I was just like,
Whatever. It didn't make you want to eat, man. Man, with nail biting, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. The best game to me was the first game, Tampa Bay and Green Bay.
oh
That
yeah,
was the best game to me. That had to be down the best game. The other game was good, but man, look at here. Can you believe it? The first team in NFL history to host a Super Bowl and appear in the Super Bowl. Come on.
yeah. I mean, but think about it, man. They need that warm weather, so that it was good. The thing that hurt my heart was the fact that Green Bay was it that game or no? It was Buffalo.
Yeah,
Buffalo did two punt kicks when they should have gone for it on fourth down.
exactly.
I told my man, I was like, they left more than 8 points on the game, and that was
Yeah,
momentum that they had just lost. You know what
yeah.
I mean? And it was just,
And
just
look at Aaron Rodgers. It go back the same thing I tell you. Quarterback who's this is stay in a pocket loses games when it count. He could have ran that touchdown. It
yeah.
was nobody in front of this man. This man could have walked. Even Dan Marino would have walked in there. I'm just saying he like went nowhere. Even Dan would have walked. Even Dan ran that in there.
I don't agree with you, Praise. All right, hold on. Let's get
All
past
right,
the
let's go.
ball for a minute. We're gonna come back to this, man. Like I said, we got this banger.
Oh yeah. What's going on, buddy?
Welcome to Real Talk.
What's
How you
happening?
doing? Doing good, man. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Pleasure to be here.
Absolutely. We were talking about football, but I noticed you were smiling. Did you want to interject
Yo,
as well
I
into this
was
conversation?
smiling because if you're talking about sports, you're talking to the wrong one, B. I don't follow no football, no basketball, nothing.
Okay.
And I know it's black man's supposed to be all about them sports, but yo, I couldn't keep up, man. I couldn't keep up. I don't do it.
So do you like any sports at all, or you
I
just
like boxing. Right now, I'm just a big MMA fan.
Yep.
I'll play sports, but I won't sit down and watch it. That's just I like to be in the mix, but I'm not one to just be a spectator.
Exactly. Got you.
all right? So you hit a chord there when you said boxing and mixed martial arts. As you
Yeah.
know, I'm a martial arts instructor. I've been doing that for over 30 years.
Showtime.
Frazier,
I just like to fight.
is, Muay Thai fighter. You know
We
what
talk
I mean?
all day, baby.
And it's just, how do I say this? I can sit down and watch MMA and boxing all day.
Yeah.
You know
I will
what I mean?
watch that all day long myself.
No
So let
doubt.
me ask you: did you get the opportunity to watch the UFC card this weekend?
No, I didn't see it. I always wait for the outcome and kind of watch the highlights and just look for the big bang. There's a couple ones that I'll see coming on and be like, all right, I gotta go check this one out.
Exactly.
I gotta see it. But most of the time now, it's like I just wait, see who wins, kind of bet on who's gonna win, and myself personally, and then I'll look for the outcome.
Nice. I
True.
gotta do the same thing because it's just like you keep coughing up that $65. It becomes very heavy, very.
Exactly.
You
And
know.
I'm like, man, I ain't watching it. Like, I'm really not a big TV watcher, so I'm
Nah,
always
I do
waiting
YouTube.
just for the outcome. Yeah.
I learned at the Mayweather fights. You saw it on YouTube. Full fight.
Yes. There you go. There you go.
I ain't paying all that. Watch on YouTube full fight.
Yo, we always gotta find a way to scam the system because I ain't paying for all that.
Nah, man. I mean, it depends on the fight now. It depends on the fight. Now I see something like the Tyson and Jones fight. I want to see that fight. I really want to see a live view. I want to see Tyson look good. Tyson.
Exactly.
But other than that, I won't pay for it either.
Right.
It's definitely all good. All right, so let's transition then.
Get into that.
Wolfpack.
Wolfpack. The
How did that?
guards in the building.
No
Yes,
doubt.
sir.
How did that come about?
Man, it started with I met my boy Jay in the gym. Jerry, that's my partner right there. Met him in the gym. We have been working out for quite some time, and everybody was like, "Yo, you guys got a good routine. You should start training other people." Now, I've always been training people, but it's mostly been like just friends, family, things like that.
Yeah.
Never really took it serious because it's really just something that I love to do personally. My other man Rick came along a little bit later, just from me being friends and family, say, "Yo, come work out." And from there, we started. Other people want to get interested. We started seeing that we had a little niche. We want to start training other people, and we just needed people would call me a big dog in the gym. Yo, they got a big dog. So the biggest dog out is Wolf. So
Exactly.
we just stuck. This is the Wolfpack. So we all run together. I say when you're hunting in a Wolfpack, if you know, sometimes the leader doesn't always have to keep the pace.
That's right.
The next strongest in line would step up, and the leader could fall back, and you're still on track. You're still making your hunt. So then we transition. I don't have to be the one that's always in charge. So that's why the Wolfpack kind of makes sense to us.
Absolutely.
Right.
So with COVID, how was your client? Is it still growing? How is it moving and progressing? Because I know that YMCA shut down.
Everything.
For me and everything, and we've been doing it virtually. But
I honestly, I think COVID probably put us on the map more so than where we were before, because we had to just kind of pivot and go with something that was going to keep us growing as business minded, keep us in a view. So we started being more digital, started doing Zoom classes. And that's what kind of just put us more so, you know what, we need to really step our game up as far as making more videos, putting more information out of what we're doing. And that's really what started drawing a light to us as a team, because it's so many people out here, trainers working out, especially on an Instagram format, Facebook format. It's hard to really cut through the masses.
right.
Yep. You're right.
So the whole aspect of it all was to stay true to ourselves. Don't rush it, be organic, and just kind of let it happen. And it's happening. People see I'm over here talking to you right now. And so
That's true.
And that being said, man, I thank you for the opportunity to even just get on and hear what I have to say, because it's always humbling to hear somebody that wants to know what you want to talk about. So I appreciate the opportunity to come out and talk to you guys also.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I mean, look, we definitely appreciate it. Besides a martial artist, I've been a natural bodybuilder since I was 14.
Wow.
And I'm a personal trainer. So when you said big dog, that's why I stood up like this. I was just like, yo, right? I know what he's saying. You know what I mean?
All the Wolfpack ain't even know.
You know what I mean? So I can dig it. And then, like I always say in my book, it was actually my in-home personal training company that I started in 04, 05, where I was able to gain enough money to buy my first house. And then from that first house, I transferred into real estate investing. And that's where I met Fraze. So, it's just when you're moving and things are moving and happening like that, it's not just one way or this way or that. So I always
say things just kind of fall in place, man.
Right.
And once you put your mind in the universe that this is what you want, it all just comes to you. You don't have to chase after it, really. It'll come to you once you focus on that position.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Definitely. See me, I do work out football all through life, 8-10 football.
Yeah.
I'm a big over the lineman, push a little man around, got the shortest on the field. So when you said big tall too on the field, I was a big dog. Now with the
big dog status.
Hey man, on the field, you get a 6'4" person, he look down, you're like, hey, what you gonna do? Beat you?
Yeah.
Get out my way.
Right.
And we gonna score.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah, simple as that. How you tell people my mentality off the field and on the field is not the same person. On the field, I'm kicking your butt. Off the field, I'm shaking your hand. Hi, how you doing? Everything's good with you?
Right. But you know what though? That on the field drive that you have to win It's
Oh, I
something
love it.
that you carry with you off the field because you still want to progress, and you're gonna drive and you're gonna make it happen. So that training and sportsmanship is something that you carry through your life also, you know. And that's what I feel. That's what I feel I take from training, being consistent.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I love your training because it reminded me of my training. I used to train. I used old school. I didn't never use that much machines and stuff. I go out and push a car. Well, I pull a car. That's how I did my training. Throw a tire, move tires, pick tires up, everything twice as big as me, and drag it. That's how I did my training. And I train my kids, it's similar to that. I mean, I do what I did with cars, but I did with sled. I tell, look, put weight on it. If you can push this, there's nobody in front of you will stop you.
That's true.
Hands down.
That's true.
And you gotta believe in yourself to do it.
Right. That mental strength.
Mental
strength. And that's kind of like a saying that I always say also is that mental physical connection has to happen. Because if you're just out there and not really connected to what you're doing, it doesn't work.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. You know, look, from a martial arts standpoint, you guys have to understand that if you ever tell yourself no, it will never happen. Like I was saying last week, you know, my students are scared to break a board. A lot of them are. I'm like, look, if you're afraid to break that board won't break.
Yep.
Right.
And it's all in the mind, you know. So you have to, like you said, you have to will yourself to make it happen. Because I know during some of my black belt exams, my grandmasters and masters would ask me to do things I had never done. Yeah. And I'm sitting there bowing, yes, sir, thank you. That's why I'm doing. In my mind, I'm just like, I'm gonna break my back. There's no possible way that I can do something.
To kill me out here.
Yeah, man, that I can do something I've never done before. And then I look, and everybody's looking at me, and everybody's with excitement. And I said, you know what, though, but I'm still gonna do it.
That's something that when it's always a point when I'm training somebody, I always tell them to mark a day mentally or in a calendar of the day that they told me that they couldn't do something.
That's right.
And then, because I know eventually you're going to get stronger, because you only get stronger when you're training. You only start to connect your mind to what you're doing. And then when you finally hit that goal, and I'll be like, yo, remember that day you told me you couldn't do that? You're doing it now.
Oh, yeah.
And that's something that I see in everybody.
Oh, yeah.
The will to say that I can't. Once you leave that to the side and you start making those strides, you make it happen.
That's true.
Yeah.
I tell you the story. I told Joy a story a while back. Had one kid come. He raised by his grandparents because mom couldn't raise him to the grandparents, and he brought him to me because he said he was soft. No, I brought the little girl. He don't stand up for himself. Yeah. And the first day he came in practice, I was scared. I am not gonna lie to you. I was scared. Yeah. The first he hit a person in the helmet like this with a chest out. Whoa, hold on. Whoa, come on. Yeah. You can't have you get hurt out here now. Come on now.
Right.
Once I had to give it to him. Once he realized he can do something, his drive was magnificent.
Yeah.
It was like he went from being the weakest kid on the team to one of the strongest team. Also, and being a captain. The moment he had been a kid before, he telling defense what to do. He commanding the defense now. He telling him, do this, do that. And he tell him, if I can't stop him, you got to help me out. I'm like, boy, he sound like me, he a member.
You know what? He fed into what you was telling him.
Exactly. Yeah. Hey, the best thing I want to tell you is, you should see when you ever seen a kid twice the size, knock a kid smaller than him on the ground. Yeah. He did it.
Yeah.
With fashion. I'm talking about, and then he didn't disrespect him. He helped him up and say, "Good job." I'm like, "Oh, okay, I like it." It taught him so much. Then I say, my philosophy always been 90% mental, 10% physical. Right. Anybody do physical, but you'll separate you from anybody else is that mindset.
That mindset.
That's
true. Yeah.
Mindset. But back to the question. So how do you get these new clients to feed into your mindset of believing in your workout, believing they can do the exact workout you can do?
Well, honestly, man, it's not for everybody. And that's something that I tell them straight out the gate. Look, come train with me for a little while, give it a week or so, see if you even like my style, my approach. And if you do, you stick through, then you're only going to get stronger. So I give them, what I tend to do is just let them see how to use their body first. Because there's a lot of people, they're not using their hips, they're not using their knees. You tell them pick something up, they just fold over at the waist.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's the first thing I do is introduce them to, this is how you really need to move to actually accomplish what we want to do. And we'll spend a whole week or so, 2 weeks, just on body weight, hardly any weight at all, just doing the movements. And then we start to add the weight. And then because they have that foundation of the body movement first, and before you add the weight, it all just starts to accumulate. And they can see how things make sense, how things start to connect. And that's usually how I get them to buy in. Like, you start from here, just slight positioning, changing the way your grip is, the way you attack the weight, taking your time, breathing at the right time. And as all those things start to come together after like a couple of weeks, it all makes sense. And they say, I'm actually learning something. I'm doing something. Especially when they start, say, like with a deadlift, and they start moving some weight that they never in a million years think that they can be able to move, because everything is linking together. They got the right movement. They got the right posture. They know how to push and pull at the same time. And they buy into it.
Nice.
And I really tell them, I like to tell everybody that you don't have to look like me or anybody else. You're just going to be the best version of yourself.
Exactly.
And that's what I'll try to tell everybody. There's no cookie cutter image in this. And I think that's where I think a lot in the fitness industry kind of goes wrong, because everybody thinks, I don't look like this, or I don't move that way, so I can't do it. And the first thing is just tell them, look, get that out of your mind, because that's not the goal. That's not the focus.
However, I must say this. It does help when your instructor or trainer does look like that, because you're like, hey, you want to train with that guy, or you want to train with this guy? Now, if you do it, there's a hope that you can do it.
But on another note, on that,
well, I almost said the opposite. Look at me. I'm a little bit bigger. But guess what? I can do the same thing you guys can do.
Yeah. On that topic, I used to think like that. I honestly used to think like, well, why would I train with him if he doesn't look a certain way?
Yeah, that's true.
But as I've gotten older, I've known that you don't have to fit that image. Like, even as the trainer, because the mental piece, you may have the knowledge or could have had an injury and can't move the way you move. So your body isn't at its best peak, but it doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
Right. So I say that to say is, I translate that also into the person that's being trained. Like, you don't have to look a certain way. It goes across the board. So I used to be on some, he looked crazy. Why would I want to train with him? He ain't, whatever he's preaching, he's not doing, because he doesn't look like it. But in the same token, he might have a wealth of knowledge that he may not look it, but he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. I was just talking about the marketing aspect.
The market is
be like this, and this is a fly, and they be like, I'm like, yeah, come on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you got one now. You got one now.
Yeah, man.
He does. Now, I'm not going to dispute the fact. I can't dispute that.
That's fact. You got it now.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's all one. It's funny. When I started studying Muay Thai, one of the best Muay Thai fighters is my size.
Yeah.
And if you see this guy kick, believe you me, you will not want to get kicked by this guy.
Exactly. And then you look at some of the Muay Thai fighters, and they small, and you be like, I wouldn't want to get kicked by this little dude right here. It might break my whole kneecap.
Right. That's right.
And what's funny I tell about this too, it go back to almost similar to your training. If you look at how you train, they train the exact same way in Thailand.
Yes.
They train old school, man. They don't do anything new, no machine, none of that stuff.
Yeah.
Everything is all natural by working every day. They work 8 hours a day, 7 days a week. Right. They train the rest of the day. Work during the daytime, train in the afternoon.
I always say, if you're gonna work for somebody, make sure you're working for yourself.
That's it.
You got to do something for yourself, even if it's a little hour, 30 minutes. If you getting out there, you working 10, 12 hours a day, and you slaving, killing yourself, making somebody else rich, breaking your back, why are you not at least putting an hour for yourself, for your own mental health?
Yeah, but the problem with that is not to cut you off. It's just that, they always get you reaching. They always get you like, oh, I don't have enough, or this, or it's that. We always got to have 2 or 3 hustles. You know what I mean? Just to stack, move this, that, and the third. And by the
Right.
time we get here, man, yo, we're tired. And I always like you. I always tell people, man, look, my workouts now used to be, 2, 3 hours when I was young.
Yeah.
Now
Right.
I'm done in 45 minutes. That includes the warm up
Yes.
and the cool down stretch. Why?
This.
Because I'm getting myself to a certain level now and training for 30 minutes. You know what I mean? As opposed to training for 3 hours. But they don't have the
Right.
knowledge to understand that until you break it down to them, body mechanics,
Mm-hmm.
physiology, things like that. And they go, oh, I didn't know. And like you
Right.
said, you're going to work 80 hours from somebody and put yourself in the ground, and you're not even going to have a quality of life. You got high blood pressure medication you taking, diabetes medication.
Yeah.
Don't you want to be here for your kids and your grandbabies? Have a quality of life with your
Mm-hmm.
grandbabies. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
I co-sign every piece of that right there.
It's true.
Crazy.
No matter the question though. I mean, have you had anybody come to you say like who had a health problem before, like say first or early part of the years, and trying to get back into shape, and they want to actually build themselves up better than
Mm-hmm.
they were before by using your method? You ever had somebody like that come to you and how you approach
Oh
it?
yeah. What I always, when people come to me in that fashion, their mindset is normally like they want it to happen overnight.
Mm-hmm.
So it takes the process to get to where you want to be is usually a lot longer because you didn't get to where you are overnight. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of undoing that needs to happen. And a lot of people come to me thinking you have to spend, like you were saying before, have to spend hours in the gym. And I'm just saying, man, you overthinking everything. Like you could just cut one or two things out of your diet, move a little bit every day, and you'll start seeing progress. It's like people think training is just this radical aspect that you have to be in the gym 2, 3 hours a day, killing yourself, not eating food. And it just doesn't work like that. So when somebody comes to me and say, I want to get back into a better shape or better than where I were, I tell them, man, look, start small. You don't even have to be in the gym. You don't have to be with me per se. Just get up, stretch, do some yoga. So many yoga yoga videos on YouTube. Do some yoga, do some push-ups, because what you're doing with that is first and foremost getting your mind in place, and that's where the disconnect is. People think that they could just come in and hit a switch and then I'll be good. It's like it doesn't happen like that. You got to get your mindset first, and then you start adding on the weights, going to the gym, being out the house, because you got to make sure that you're able to get time for yourself.
Look, I definitely agree. I think the silver lining with COVID is the fact it forced everybody to be uncomfortable. You know what I mean? Like you used to going to the gym so you can relax in the car before you get there, and
Mm-hmm.
you work out and you relax when you get home. And depending on what your home situation is, you don't
Right.
know what you're walking into. But here, you know, the mind switch was, everybody has gym equipment that they have in their house that's sitting
Right.
there
Yep.
Yo,
collecting dust.
hold on. Did you notice all the gym equipment was sold out when COVID hit? So
Yeah.
nobody could get.
They were buying
Oh
like
yeah,
crazy.
absolutely. Absolutely, because
Absolutely.
they knew when they was getting locked down, they were like, "Oh, I can't go to the gym anymore.
Right.
I got
Yep.
15s here. I couldn't find 25s. I couldn't find
Nope.
35s. They were all
Nothing.
gone, right?" But it's like, okay, now you literally have to force yourself. Oh, I'm going downstairs to work out. You know,
Yep.
Yeah.
nobody ever used to do that before. It used to be like,
Exactly.
yes, but now all of a sudden you got to get uncomfortable and get it if your mind is right to be able to do that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And
for me, COVID kind of hit around the right time because I changed my routines with the seasons. Because in New York it gets cold, so I stay inside a lot more, in the gyms. But as in springtime, summertime, I'm always in the park. I'm outside, so then my routines are going to change to where I am. And I've always had some sort of weight that I could just carry with me,
mhm,
and I keep it around. That's when like kettlebells and things like that really made sense for me because
Yep.
it was so versatile that I can just have one weight and just really do everything I need to do with that one weight.
nice.
Yeah, I want to ask you because I started when I was going to the gym. I first got introduced to kettlebell. I have never seen a kettlebell workout.
Right.
That's it. I used everything natural, so I did push-ups and whatever.
Yes.
But I actually seen a kettlebell, and it was better than the band. I used to do the band. I hated it.
Yeah.
I hated the crap. But I wanted something I could build my strength at the same time. I
Mm-hmm.
was lifting stuff, lifting weights, or whatever. But the guy would tell me, why don't you try kettlebells? Okay, what do I do with kettlebell?
Exactly.
First of all, what do I do with it? Yeah, I know certain things I can just toss up in there. Like, I'm trying to.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to overdo it. So he had actually showed me slowly how to actually control the kettlebell.
Yes.
I didn't have to actually control the kettlebell.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I saw you working out. I'm like, wow, he got great control with that kettlebell over there.
Yeah. And that's
an up north thing, phrase. Down south, y'all don't have kettlebells like that.
I know what kettlebells is, man.
Nah, they out there. They out definitely. They definitely out there.
Too funny.
But I want to ask you.
Uh-huh.
There's one thing you use, the really long like an axe. I call it John Henry, like a John Henry.
Oh, that's called.
I call it John Henry bar.
That's called a mace bar.
Oh, okay.
A mace bar. It's straight off the battlefield, man. It's basically a weapon from the mid 20th century, I would say.
Okay.
It's a Persian weapon. It was designed when the knights were attacking Persia. You know, the Great Crusades.
Yeah.
They couldn't cut the armor with their swords, so the mace is a blunt force trauma weapon. So what they would do was design the mace to swing, and really they want to hit the knight upside the head with the weighted end to basically just scramble his brains in his head when they hit him with the bar.
Wow. Interesting.
That's right off the battlefield, man. So a lot of the movements is what the guys would do was train with a heavy mace bar. Okay. In training, kind of get it around, get the shoulders in straight, and then go out to the battlefield with a lighter bar, so they're just moving a lot faster.
Right.
And the reaction time is better.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. Heavy. I train football. You do that. I wear heavier cleats.
Yes.
I wear 20-pound cleats in practice. And run.
Right.
So when I went game, my game cleats was around maybe 12 or maybe 12, 11, give or take weight. Mm-hmm. So I would move a lot faster than a lot of my counterparts because they didn't train that way. And I would train heavy. Exactly.
Exact same thing. You put 5-pound weights, ankle weights on your legs when you're kicking, getting ready for tournament. So when you start competing, your legs are a lot faster.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's definitely
true.
So
listen, finish your thought because we got to transition.
Okay. No, I was just saying I like to train now with a heavier bar in the house, and that's just where I'm at right now. That was it.
All right.
So tell us though, like, all right, before George, I got this, George. So tell us though, so you speak about diet, right? Mm-hmm. What are your diet, and what do you do to how you transition from before when you were younger to now?
Man, all right, diet. All right, so I haven't eaten red meat in about 30 years.
Holy yes!
Yeah, man. I stopped eating red meat early 20s, man. And I'm 50. So it's been a long time. I don't run around saying I'm vegan and I'm not telling you how to eat or that's just not my thing. I do have once in a while I have some chicken or some fish, but my diet is basically a plant-based diet. Yeah, that's my diet.
Nice. Well, Grace, we're right in that section because that's exactly where I was getting ready to go. What are you eating? So like
and you know what? I used to eat like eggs, things like that, because I was always like, I need my protein. Yeah. I read this one book. It was like the Blue Zones or something like that. It was a book about people who live in certain areas of the world that live past 100. Mm-hmm. After reading the book, I noticed that they were kind of eating the same things that I was eating, less meat products also. So I was like, let me cut these eggs out my diet. I'm always experimenting with my diet. I was like, I'm gonna cut the eggs out because it was always like a quick protein sort of thing. I cut the eggs out and look for more plant-based proteins, like seeds, nuts, spinach, things like that, greens. And I was doing this thing called 10 days vegan, where I would just have no meat at all, strictly plant-based. And I felt better after 5 days of just nothing. My mind was fresher. I felt better. I started moving better. And then that just really pushed me into just saying, you know what, I don't need any fish, chicken, anything like that. And I just cut all of that out, and I've just been plant based for the last, I would say, um, man, maybe 7, 8 years now, man, straight. Yeah, I still dibble dab every now and then, a little
Yeah.
piece of chicken with my daughter. My daughter loves some chicken, so I don't tell her you can't have it, because as you grow older, you'll start to make the right decisions, because she sees kids are always going to do what they see you doing, not what
Exactly.
you
Right,
tell them to do. So I don't really try to tell her too much, you know.
right,
A
right, right.
little plug. Wifey has a restaurant. It's called a Greedy Kitchen. It's a vegan restaurant.
Mm.
So I'm eating vegan all day.
Nice.
Right,
Yeah,
right. I know that I had to switch my diet from red meat a lot to fish and
hmm
fowl, just because it worked better for me on my diet
yeah.
and a lot of things that I was doing, especially competing and things of that nature.
And you
Um,
know what it is too, man. A lot of the food that we're eating is just not good, man. It's super processed, full of
Yeah.
chemicals, and that's what you see translate into a lot of our community. That's why our diet is so bad. That's why we not in good shape.
True.
Yeah.
yeah, no
That
doubt
is true.
about it. No doubt about it.
That's what that one guy I saw one guy on YouTube. He only eat plant based. He literally grows his own plants.
Yeah.
On a piece of property, and him and his wife, and they grow all the spinach,
Right.
the cabbages, all they grow the natural peppers and everything they naturally
Yeah.
sell. Grow everything natural. And this guy is bigger than me.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was ripped. I'm like,
But
dude, you eat on meat.
but you
Without
know
blood,
what though? When
he
you
eat meat.
think about it, the largest um, land mammals don't eat meat.
That is true.
And,
It's
and
weird, but
what's crazy is when you tell nobody cares about what you eat and tell them you're vegan. Tell you say, yo, I'm vegan, I don't eat no meat.
yeah,
Then it's like mind blowing. What you don't eat no meat? You need to
yeah.
sleep. You working out. But there's so many other ways to get the nutrients that you need without animal products. So a normal day for me, I wake up in the morning, I have like a glass of water with some lime in the water, kind of get my system going. I meditate. Um, First meal, I always do like a grain, which is basically oatmeal. I always do oatmeal. It's the fastest thing. I know how to make it real quick, and fresh fruit. And the oatmeal just kind of hold me down, man, for a couple hours, depending on what type of workout I'm doing for the day.
Yeah.
If I'm really going hard, I'll burn out. But if I'm just kind of coasting, I won't need to eat again until maybe 1 or 2 o'clock, and then from there, it's some quinoa, something like that, spinach again. I do a couple mushrooms, and then I eat like soy products, stuff like that, plant-based products, just to kind of spice it up.
Nice.
Um,
So you're eating 3 times a day, 3 meals a day?
Sometimes I'm eating 3 times a day. Mostly, it's maybe 2 big meals and a couple of snacks in between.
Okay.
Yeah.
What are your snacks? Like, what do you base your snacks like? Nuts or I know you should
Nuts,
get nuts
fruits,
or
things
fruits.
like that. I always have like keep a bag of peanuts, mixed nuts, bananas, oranges. I eat a ton of fruit, man, more than anything. Yeah. So
But in certain, I know some people say good food and there's bad food
yes.
that you put eco. Some food carry more sugar than others, and it actually reverses what you actually put in
Mm-hmm.
your system. It makes the system actually weaker.
Well,
But
not really, because the fruit is called sucrose and fructose,
Mm-hmm.
and it's more organic.
It's a good sugar.
Yeah, it's a good sugar.
okay,
So white granulated sugar is a processed sugar, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what we have a lot of issues with, and causes even childhood diabetes, because our bodies can't process things that are not, how do I say this, that are not organic, so to speak.
Right.
Anything synthetic, our body will have an adverse reaction to it. So when you're talking about sugars, a lot of times some fruits like bananas and some papayas and things like that are real sweet, but that's organic sugar through the fruit. So your body
Right.
will absorb that, and that'll be the energy that you need. And you notice when you're eating a banana, you won't crash, like have that crash, like
Mm-hmm.
you would if you had like an energy drink with 3 tablespoons of sugar in it, or if you had something else. You know what I mean? So I always like to talk about that because people go, "Oh well, my doctor told me not to eat fruit because it's too sweet."
Your
Well, if you're
doctor
not
always tell you that nonsense to have you on them pills, man.
right, right, and so I'm like, "Well, okay. Don't you know if you're eating a pineapple, the pectin in the pineapple is also good for digestion? So not only are you getting what you need every day, it's actually helping you. That's why, if you notice in a lot of studies, people that live in war climates that eat a lot of Caribbean fruits and vegetables and things like that, their GI tracts are a little bit different because they're getting it right off the tree. You know what I mean?
Yes.
They're getting it right out of the ground. And it's just better for the body. Our bodies craves for that. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? Craves for it.
If I were to eat like some fast food, some fries and something like that, I can feel it instantly.
Yeah.
Within 30 minutes, I can feel myself just feeling terrible. And
Yeah.
sometimes I do it to myself just to see, like, you know what? I ain't eat this in a couple months. Let me try some of these fries.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Right.
always, after the fact, I'm like, damn, why did I even do this right now? Because now I feel like just
Yeah.
washed up, you know?
But you know what I do is I switch it. I don't eat starchy fries
Mhm.
anymore. I have like some sweet potato fries, or I'll have some
Yeah.
yuca fries or things like that.
Oh yeah.
You
Oh,
know,
you talking that
Yeah.
talk right now?
Yeah,
Okay.
bro.
you know,
Yeah.
um, he doesn't know about this phrase, but we have a
Hawaii super tip.
wait, hold on now. Let me finish. I said we have a steakhouse here called Arthur's, and they give
Uh-huh.
it to you like 32 ounces, 52 ounces steaks. You know what I mean? And you can't hold all
No, I
that
get this
like
though.
this, man. I'm gonna order this steak because it's the summertime. However, I'm gonna eat it for the whole week. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Or you drink some sweet potato fries and a salad with that because I'm only
Yeah.
gonna eat about 4 ounces of this and wrap the whole thing up. Yeah, man. Crazy,
That's
crazy.
simple. That's that
I
you
was
got
at Miami.
you
I
got
think
the
that'll be
steak
smart.
hack right now.
Yeah, I see. In Miami, I worry about that because in Miami, you got to take a peek. You got Latin food, you got Spanish food, Haitian food,
Right.
Mexican food. We got too many choices to choose from these days, and they
Yeah.
all bad for you.
But you know what it is, man? That you gotta make the right choices.
That's right.
You said it
That's
right
it.
there. You gotta make the right choices, man.
I'm doing it now. See, I'm doing
Yeah.
it now. Because now I ain't know where to get the food at.
Right.
So once you get out of the fast food section, it's like, what do I eat now?
Yeah. You know
Where
what?
I'm finding stuff at?
I would tell some of my friends, man, don't eat meat for a week. And after the third day, they just confused. Like, what am I gonna eat? What's supposed
Yeah,
to be on my plate?
Right.
You know, and because there's always, if you think about it, man, a lot of people eat some sort of meat in every meal.
yeah,
Hmm.
Bacon and eggs in the morning. You got some sort of cold cuts for lunch. And then you got steak or chicken at night.
That's
Like,
right.
how much meat products do you need throughout the day? Like, make one of those meals
yeah.
no meat. Just start like that. But also, what I noticed too is when you start to eat healthy, it gets expensive.
It does.
It
Really
gets
expensive.
expensive. So I always say it's not for everybody because you have to have the knowledge of where to shop. You're gonna need to cook because you can't go out and buy a vegan meal
Yeah,
every single day. Um, and you got to know how to prepare your food so that it's still entertaining for you, so that you're not saying, "Oh, I'm tired of eating this, and now I'm going back to the nonsense." Because you
yeah.
can get a full meal from McDonald's for like $4,
$4, yeah.
and a salad is going to be like $7, $8.
Yeah.
So
Now,
if you're
now,
not
here, now.
in a if you're not in a financially stable position where you can eat good, it's hard. It's not that part. I would say it's not that easy.
Yeah, but that's also what plagues our communities because
Definitely.
Yeah,
in the suburbs they get orange juice, and in the urban areas they
You
get
got
fruit
Sunny
drink.
D.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. You know what I mean? What
Yeah.
what what Chappelle call it? Fruit. That wasn't called a fruit punch. He called it something else, man. Y'all know the joke.
Kool-Aid.
No, not even cool. Something else, man. But when you read it, all it is fruit dye and sugar,
Exactly.
and that's all that we get because that costs a quarter, and
Right.
Yeah,
a thing of orange juice costs $1.99.
Right.
And so we're always, always, always malnutritious because, like you said,
Mm-hmm.
you can go to McDonald's and get a meal for $4, and look, if you got to feed a family, that's what you got to do. You know
Well,
what I mean?
exactly.
And so
Exactly.
it's just
It's
always
it's
a struggle.
yeah,
but if that McDonald's meal is $4, then you know it's trash.
exactly.
Yeah.
But hey, we got a place called Whole Foods. We have Whole Foods.
Yeah, we got
Oh
Whole
yeah,
Foods.
we got Whole Foods.
Y'all good. Man, I went in there. Did I tell you the big difference in going to Publix and buying meat and buying
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
meat there?
yeah.
It's a great big difference.
It's about a
Huge.
30 to 40% increase because it's all organic and everything, and so it
Yeah.
prices you out of the market. You know, lettuce doesn't cost that much. The
No.
biggest problem is the fact that there's not enough workers to pick lettuce. People don't know in places like Arizona and Texas and
Hmm.
all those
Yep.
southern states in California that grow those products, it
Right.
rots in the vine because there's not enough workers to do it. And I'm not saying this for politics. I'm just saying that that's what the fact is.
That
So
is
it
a
always
fact.
it always bothers me when people be like, "Oh, they come in here and stealing American jobs." No, they're not. There's jobs that you don't want that
Exactly.
somebody else has to come do it. And when
Right.
that job doesn't get done, the food product goes to waste.
Exactly.
Exactly.
So, so when we have right now in this country, people hungry, that's really the reason why, you know.
Hmm.
And you just have to know. I mean, back to dieting, I was so fortunate being young and being a natural bodybuilder that I learned how to eat. Even in college, my cousin who taught me, he was like, "Look, I'm gonna teach you what a college box is." Okay, what's a college box? You need a jar of peanut butter, a couple cans of tuna fish. You need some rice. You need all these things. Why?
Yeah.
Because it's the survival kit for you
Yep.
when that meal card gets cut off. Okay,
Yep.
Yes.
you're going to learn how to be a gourmet very quickly, making tuna fish this and
Yeah.
ramen noodle this and
Yep.
blah 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 to
I,
survive.
I'm gonna tell you a story, man. I first started working out when I was in the military, so like '92, and at that time I was working out with some powerlifters. It was like the National Guard powerlifters,
Mhm.
and all these dudes was huge. They was like, man, you gotta put on some weight. You gotta put on some weight. And I would walk around with like tuna fish sandwiches in my pocket and potatoes and just be eating all day long. And the amount of food that I had to consume to keep that weight on or to get that big, I couldn't do it. And that was one of the first lessons that I learned, that you have to work within your parameter. Like you
Yeah.
don't need to force your body into something else that it's not going to be.
You're
Because
absolutely right.
You're right.
that was a hard lesson right there. Because
You're absolutely right.
and as soon as
Yeah.
I stopped eating that way, I went right back to being slim. And I was like, this is my frame. I'm gonna just embrace this.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
no
And
doubt.
yeah,
Look, I used to be 235 pounds. I was benching 420, leg pressing 1,100 pounds. Right.
yeah,
I was consuming probably every bit of 4 to 5 thousand calories because I was working out at a big bodybuilding
Yeah.
gym here. You
right.
probably with Diamond's Gym over here in Jersey and South Orange. That's
Uh-huh.
what I was working out at, you know. And it just got to the point that I would just literally lay on the bed like this. And
Yeah.
my wife would be like, because we had a full size, we didn't have a queen size, then it was broke. She'd be like,
Uh,
"You gotta roll over." She said, "Your leg is over here. You pinned me here for 8 hours, and I
yeah,
couldn't move or lift your leg." She was like, "This is too much."
right.
And I was so big that I couldn't lay on my side like this. I was like,
Yeah.
"Oh no, this is crazy, crazy."
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was talking to somebody for something like that also. And for me, it's more so, does that really serve me? Because that's, what am I doing that for? And
Yeah.
and if it's not really serving you, then you don't really need to do that. Because that right there is, after you come off of that trip of getting big just for ego, or to be the biggest guy in the room,
Yeah.
that's a hard nut to rock with right there.
Oh yeah,
That's-
oh yeah,
I do it.
absolutely.
Can I do it? When I first played football, I was 410 pounds when I first played football, but I was 400 solid. But if you
Right.
saw me, I look 320.
Damn.
I
That's
look
like that
320.
Samoan weight right there.
So, and you will tell you one thing about it. I was that size, and I ran a 4.6, 4.7. That's full speed.
Mm.
So, and I remember I went from being 135 and running track and everything else to that
Yeah.
size. I
That's
wanted to play
crazy.
ball. I wanted to play ball, and
Right.
when I played ball, I had to put on weight.
Mm-hmm.
What I did was, I tell everybody, I had to work out every single day. I could not miss a day of working out because
Exactly.
my body would get weak because I went to, okay, whoa, you really can't run that weight on. So I had to build my legs to compensate the weight. So my legs were huge,
Yeah.
Right.
just to cover the top part.
Yeah.
So I had a big old top, small arms, but I could reach. And man, I tell you, when I stopped
Right.
playing ball, oh my God, that weight was ridiculous. Because everything now, I'm not doing it, I'm not active. Now
Yeah.
that people understand also, you had a certain weight for a certain period of time, but when you stop being active, you have to drop that weight.
Exactly.
to drop that weight. There's
Yeah,
no question about that.
that's the biggest mistake, everybody makes. Even I did. You have these big containers of a weight gainer. You like, hey, I don't spent that
Yeah.
$50, man. I
Yeah.
can't throw that out. So you still just keep going and keep going. Next thing you know, you're like, man, how did I put all this? Where did I get to? You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, oh, it's crazy.
You know what? I would go off and on of like protein shakes, things like that. I would do it for a month, then I come off just to see where my strength was. Was it the chemicals that I was
Yeah.
using, or is it just natural?
Hmm.
And the first week of not having that that protein shake, that extra
Yeah.
little boost in the morning, you feel the difference automatically. You're like, damn. So then I started just staying off of it for a while, and then I just haven't been taking anything. So next month I'm actually going to go back on and see how I feel. I would
Now, do
just
you
go
take
off and on with it.
like do you take any supplements at all?
No, not right now. Next month, the first, I'm going to start taking some vitamins, some protein, plant-based protein, things like that.
So
So
no
that's
omega-3, no vitamin D, no vitamin
nothing,
C, nothing really?
nothing.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's great.
just straight food, man.
Yeah, the
You
best
you
source.
you know what? When I was on like taking extra vitamins and things like that, I went and I got a physical, and everything was perfect. But the doctor was like, "Yo, one of these enzymes are high." So he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I take like a multivitamin." And the doctor was like, "You don't need to take vitamins because all you're doing is pissing it out your system."
Right.
She was like, "You're getting enough nutrients from your food. You're eating the right food." I looked at her like she was crazy. I was like, "What are you talking about? I need this whey protein and these vitamins, man. Stop playing around." Um, but I took that to heart and I cut everything out. And then I noticed the lack in power and strength because I
Hmm.
was on everything. And then that just kind of woke me up to saying maybe I don't need everything that I'm taking every single day, because it was more so multivitamin pack. You know the drill, man. You wake
Oh
up, you
yeah.
take your
Yeah,
pack, you
Take
take
the
your
animal
protein
pack.
shake,
That's
you
what it's
work
called.
out the
Hello.
animal pack,
Animal pack. What?
your urine coming out lime green, and you
That's
just like,
right.
that's the way it's supposed to be. Where it should be, just clear yellow. So I'm just like, once I stopped and I noticed I really don't need it, I just haven't been back on it.
It's
that's
great.
Yeah.
Great.
man. Look at, I tried it. I tried it. I tell
Uh-huh.
you how I went. I used beginning. I did a lot of supplements and stuff. I did a lot of stuff because I had to keep the weight on. I had to keep the protein in, a lot of weight, a lot of red meat.
Yeah.
Now, what stopped me was when I had a health issue.
Hmm.
My heart said, "You know what? It's time to call it a quit.
Yes.
I'm calling time out on you."
That's right.
Oh
So you
man.
got two options: either get your act straight together, get back on the right track,
Yeah.
or I'm going to do it for you.
Right.
And guess what? We big. Sometimes like whatever, buddy. I ain't got time to hear what you gotta say, buddy. I'm gonna
Yeah.
do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
So guess what? An episode in the hospital changed my whole entire mentality of thinking.
Right.
I had a really bad epiphany.
Hmm.
After that, I barely eat high food anymore. I barely eat like fat and anything fat and fast food. I barely touch it now. I
Yeah.
barely eat the same food I eat anymore. And I work out. I thought I work out more. I
Right.
thought I train back more.
Yeah.
And I tell you, I'm gonna go back to speak what you said. Your mindset is the most powerful thing in the world when it comes to working out. And my only bad thing was eating. That's
Hmm.
the only bad thing I tell you I ever had with eating. Because
Yeah.
I didn't eat right. I was not eating right all through the time when I had my heart attack.
Yeah.
I had a health issue eating. 'Cause I do consume a lot of food and
Yeah.
also protein and stuff. And the first thing the doctor told me was, "What you never heard it before. You had a heart attack. Your valves are healthy."
What?
The healthiest valves I've ever seen in my life.
Say that again.
My valves in my heart was
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
healthy.
Your bowels.
It was all of the blood flow. But what
Yeah.
happened was when I was born, when I was born, the valve twisted and grew on twist like this and not. So it's
Mm.
like
Right.
this. So when I maintained 135, 140,
Hmm.
and I was active, I never felt it.
Right.
But as I slowed down and started gaining weight, but not
Hmm.
working the weight, it started pressing against it.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Shorter. I couldn't walk past the front gate. I couldn't walk to my door without doing it. Oh Lord,
Yeah.
look, playing with kids was like killing me.
Yeah.
You know, like kid, like come play. I'm good.
All right. So if that was the case, I'm gonna ask you, if that was the case, and those were clear signs that something was wrong, why did you wait for the heart attack to say, let me make a difference? Let me
Come on,
make a
tell you.
change?
Why I would tell you that part there because remember I told you. See, I have a very high pain tolerance.
Oh, okay.
So my pain tolerance to me is normal. See, I'm going to tell you, my early years, I put my body through a lot of tests. My body went through a lot. Like what you said I couldn't do, I did it.
Right.
And when you put your body through that stress in your early years, your body has to catch up to you. When your body catches up to you, then when you realize the protein wasn't there, the nutrients wasn't there,
Yeah.
calcium wasn't there in your bones properly. But what I would tell George, by me doing martial arts when I was younger, kept me in shape.
Yes.
Throughout the process. So even though I was going through a bad process, my body still was slightly healthy compared to other people who have had heart attacks, compared to other people who had heart failure. So the doctor asked me, did you know you had one? I said, no.
Yeah.
I literally walked in the hospital like nothing happened.
Right.
I realized I passed out. My sister told me what happened.
Oh shit.
So I was still like,
and I think also in our community, people think it's natural to grow old and get diabetes and be sick and say, yo, that's just part of being old. And that's part of what I'd like to try and change also is that you don't have to get older and accept being sick, accept having a heart condition, accept having diabetes and think that's part of your life. Because that's not the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Look, I definitely agree. You know, when I was going through personal training school, I learned a lot, and I learned that your joints and ligaments shrink. It
Yes.
shrinks, okay?
Oh, I feel
Every
it.
10
Mine's been
years,
shrunk.
yeah, but every 10 years, they shrink by 10%.
Yeah.
And so once I realized that, I was like, oh, I'm going to ride this thing till the wheels fall off, man. I'm doing the Van Dam stretches. Y'all think I'm joking. I got this right here. I be twisting, click, 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 click. I'm like, yo, this
Yeah.
ain't gonna happen to me, son. You know what I mean? But what happens is you get complacent. So all of a sudden, all it takes is you, okay, I'm done with world championships now, so I'm not training for 3 months. Then when you start
Right.
training and you hear that pop and that click,
Mm-hmm.
and what happened? All of a sudden, like you said, your body catches up with you.
Yeah.
And I agree with you that you don't have to sit there and accept diabetes. That's what our fathers and grandfathers did because there was we as a people are more susceptible to that.
Yes.
But we're susceptible to that because of what they feed us. You know,
Exactly.
Mama had a cup of tea or coffee with us. She put some sugar in it. She didn't put honey in it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because honey was more expensive than sugar. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Loaded you up with carbohydrates, which wasn't good for you because it metabolized into sugar anyway. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, when you got sugar, you don't need that much more sugar in your body. You know what
Exactly.
I'm saying? So that mentality has to change. I mean, I was fortunate to learn it in my 30s, early 30s and 40s to make the change. But you just have some people out there that's like, you have to
Yeah.
you have to die from something anyway.
I'm good one time. Hey, Myra, go happy.
I mean, yeah, man,
or,
please.
or, or what it is, man, they look at the change like it's this big radical thing, man. But they'll rather go to the hospital and take a surgery. Like the surgery is more radical than just changing your diet.
That's it.
Yeah, that is
It's crazy.
But let me ask a question though. I got one for you. Like
Uh-huh.
when you training women, is it different when you training women and transitioning to your workout than the men? Like, do you approach it differently or is it the same way? Where you treat
Oh man, it depends. I think most women, when they come to me, I talk to them. Hey, what's your vision? Where do you want to be? You want to get strength? Was it the woman's mindset naturally is going to go to I want abs and a fat butt. That's it. And you're gonna have to undo the thinking where how I explain it is you can't have a fast engine with no brakes.
That's right.
That's not how a car works. Think full body. Think more so than you still got to use your arms. You got to make that connection through your core, through your legs. But most women, they just want nice legs, flat stomach, fat butt, and that's it. They don't care about push-ups, pull-ups, back, chest, anything.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of a process getting them into breaking out of the mindset of there's more to your body than just your stomach and your butt and your legs. With guys, it's a range, man. Some guys want to get strong. Some guys want to get leaner. Um, I kind of approach them in the same way as, like I said before, like starting with the basics, learning your body. There's more to your body than just because people. What I like to say is people like to spot train.
Yeah.
A guy would just want big chest, or he want to get his arms up. That's it, stomach. And I try to link everything together in the way my training process is. So there's more so a mental connection to the way you move your body than just saying all I'm just going to do is lay back and just do a bench or do a squat. Because the three major pillars is push, pull, squat.
That's right.
That's just a drop in a bucket. A water in a drop of water in the ocean when it comes to what you can really do as far as training.
Look, I definitely agree. I think a lot of men are weaker than women because I know when I teach women and girls, I'll tell them do 100 push-ups. They'll break their back to do the 100 push-ups, but the guy 17 will be like, "I'm tired." Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Mentality.
I'm like, I don't understand that. I don't understand that. Of
I
course,
see that too, and I'm just saying,
Weird.
I hear that all the time. Be like, "Well, I'm tired," and I'm just like, if you claim that,
You are.
that's what you're gonna be. You can't come into the gym or come to the space ready to train and you already claiming that you're tired.
Exactly.
right.
You gotta come in saying, I'm gonna focus for this hour.
Yep.
I'm gonna give it all I got. I'm gonna stay in the zone. I'm gonna stay in the moment, and all that other stuff could happen later on.
Right.
I'll think about all that other stuff later.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's that same thing when you're coaching football. You see the guy like, I can't run a lap, coach. Bro, you running chasing around the whole field with dumb stuff? What do you think you're doing?
Right.
You're running laps.
Yeah.
Chasing that guy over and over again. I think mostly younger males, for some reason, think we learn I can't. Some people watching other people say I can't do any little. And then we could maintain when we get older. Wait, dad said he got tired of working, so I'm gonna start working too. Or uncle said I'm
tired. I can't even accept that. You know what it is? Because can't is easy. Can is easy.
There you go.
You know why I tell people, when you train with me, you're going to experience blood, sweat, and tears? Because you really are going to experience blood, sweat, and tears.
Right.
When we lock up and we put sparring gear on and we start sparring, I'm going to tap you a little bit to see what you're made of. And I hope you tap me too, because that helps me and keeps me sharp as well too.
Exactly.
Right? A lot of people aren't ready for that realness. But I tell them, when I was up in North, I was like, look, you may walk outside and they may be on right there. Okay, so you can't just sit here and just think that we're just doing this and it's la di da, this, that, and the third. Everything has life consequences. So if I'm teaching you to spar, like I was saying the other day, I'm like, you should have enough skill to be able to defend yourself, first and foremost.
Mm-hmm.
But if all you're doing is scoring points and you can't kick above the belt, then go score all your points, man, and win the medal. That's what that's about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You should have enough skill to defend yourself and you should have enough skills to compete. And if I don't give you that, then something's wrong with me. Why? Because I've had to use martial arts to save my life.
Exactly.
So I'm going to sit there and color code it and walk around like, oh, he's a six stand and he can't do this and he can't do that. No, everything I teach you, I do. Everything I teach you, I know works. Why? Because I am the example. I mean, when you have students talking about I just got jacked for my iPhone, or this kid just pulled a knife on me. What can I do? My heart bleeds for me because I'm like, we're not even in Newark. We right here over here,
He said we're not in Newark.
Yeah. Suburbs, and they jacking you for your cell phone and pulling a knife on you. And I just keep telling you, I'm like, look, I can't teach you everything fast enough that I know to save your life because it just keeps changing. It just keeps changing.
Yeah.
But that's when it gets real. You see what I mean? And a lot of people aren't like that. That's why when I was training at the YMCA, we have glass doors. And there'll always be people like this, just post up, watch it. I used to tell all my students all the time. I said, they want to be in here training with you, but they don't have the heart to do it because they see what you're doing. They see what you're going through, and they just stand. And they've been standing for years and months. Oh, look. But they won't walk in the door. That's what makes you better than them. And that's why you're going to strive, because you have the desire to make yourself better. because you can train your whole life, but you can't play football your whole life. You can't play basketball your whole life. I'm not saying you can compete your whole life on a high level, but I'm saying that you can literally do martial arts your whole life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
It's a form of fasting. So that's definitely something, man, that I preach all the time because we all we got.
Right.
That is true. So, man, no, I got a question. So, like, do you go reach out to community, help younger kids, like young boys' mentality, try to help change that mentality by using your experiences in life and try to get them to see that our can't mentality is not a reality?
That's right.
Oh yeah, all any chance I get, man. Mostly in the summertime in the parks is where you can really reach the kids. They'll see me on a pull-up bar. The parks in Brooklyn, man, is notorious for some serious pull-up action out there. So
Oh yeah.
if you when they see an older guy on the bar, gray hair, doing some clean pull-ups, it's kind of like, how did you get there? What did you do to get there, and how do you do it? And then that's a good introduction to say,
Yeah.
this is what you need. You get to talking to them and seeing where their heads are at. So definitely reach out to the younger kids, especially, but it's kind of like putting yourself in that position to be around them.
Right.
Because there's no more like community centers and things like that where it was when I was growing up. You can go to like the BRC and there's somebody there that'll help you or talk to you to get you off the streets. Now it's just the streets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So true. You're so true about that. Now, we look at sticks where a lot of places closed down since COVID, and the community centers are not going to open back up again.
Right.
So now they only lost doing it twice. They lost it once. With cutbacks and cuts and government cuts. Now they're losing because of COVID, and they repeat opening back up because they say they don't have the budget to do it.
Exactly.
The money to keep it possibly clean every day, or the staff. And that's why I say, as men, we have to use our talents to actually train the kids in the streets.
Yeah.
We train in the streets.
Right.
We went to the street, we train there. If I look at see a park and say, you work on a park, I said, that's how you train kids. I used to walk over to kids and see them playing football and say, you know you're doing that wrong. I said, huh? You could have caught that ball. Why you gave up? I said, what you mean? You're too far, coach. No, not far.
Right.
Run.
Yeah.
All right. And then when you see me, I said, my side, we like to say my size is to help bigger kids see they can do things.
That's right.
Smaller kids say, oh, you can't be running. So I tell them, okay, I'm 300 pounds. How much you weigh? Oh, fine, coach.
Yeah.
Okay. Line up. 100 y'all. Let's go.
That's right.
Beat that kid. Now you know that kid on the side with a big kid like me saying, wow.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, they good workout, coach. And so what you do is you train offensive line for every coach, every park. My all these kids were the kids nobody want, they bigger, fatter, whatever. But to give them a month, not even a month, they was running faster than running backs, faster than the wide receivers. They were the first in line after every drill. They were the first line up after every drill. They were the first back off every 2-mile run. They were first. These are the linemen. These not the skill players. And go back and say, when you get that mentality, I can't out their head.
Yeah.
Man.
I think that's going to be a new mission for me, man. I need to do something more directly for the kids, some sort of kids improvement workout, something like that. I'm gonna work on that this year. So hey, we're gonna talk again in a year, so a couple months, and we're gonna see where we at. I'm gonna make.
Oh, we're gonna check on you, man.
Yeah.
You know, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Keep it over there. I had to fly in, so I come in and I fly in for that.
That's gonna be on the agenda right now, man.
No
Something
doubt.
for the kids.
So real quick, tell us where they can find you on social media.
Social media, I'm on just one platform right now. So on Instagram, it's Daring 101. Pretty simple. Daily workouts. I would say within the middle of next month, I'm gonna start posting some more stuff on YouTube. So listen out for that. Every Sunday, I do a class in Brooklyn. Right now, it's either Brooklyn or Queens. It's at Dean Street CrossFit. It's group community. It's from 10 to 11. But check me out on Instagram, DARING 101. Come see your boy do some things.
Well, listen, man, I'm sorry the hour went by so fast.
Yeah, man.
We definitely appreciate you coming on the show. And we definitely want to have you again, man. Just, stay in contact.
Peace,
No
man.
doubt.
Yo, thanks again for having me, man. I really appreciate it, man. It's
Man,
humble.
great blessings, man.
Nah,
Always,
man.
No doubt. No doubt. No doubt.
no doubt. Man,
Man, great show, Fraser. Time
Man.
always flies when we have those good conversations, man.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Man, we got to work on it. We got to work on it. We got to work on that. Good conversation, a little longer. Back.
See you later. Yo, we got a great show this Thursday, man. Fraser, tell them who we got Thursday.
Thursday got with the Brandon Cannon coming on. Very inspiring young youth. Man, brilliant guy, mindset of a genius at a young age, learning to strive everything. Brilliant. It's gonna be a great show, man. Great show.
So don't forget to check us out this Thursday at 8 o'clock. We want to thank Mr. Colin Darren for coming on, man, and sharing some of that wisdom. Hey,
Great,
this is
man.
George.
This is Frades.
That was Real Talk with George and Fraser. We'll see you on Thursday.
See you Thursday.
Peace.